Everything we're seeing from Ripple right now seems to be part of a well thought out plan. This isn't new. It's something we've been discussing for years, all the way back to 2021 and even earlier. There's been plenty of speculation about Ripple, what's going on behind the scenes, and how carefully everything appears to be mapped out. I actually made a video recently about how all of this seems planned in advance. And now with Ripple's latest move, it feels like everything we've been talking about is coming together. Let's dive into the big news that broke recently. On July 2nd, Ripple made headlines by applying for a national bank charter from the OCC. This is huge news. On top of that, they've applied for a Fed master account. Now, as I mentioned before, this would allow them to hold ROSDI reserves directly with the Fed, adding an extra layer of security to ROSDI. I also covered all the connections between the Fed and Ripple and how this could potentially tie back to ROUSD and even XRP. It's a big deal, an important piece of the puzzle. If this gets the green light, it could put Ripple in an incredibly strong position. So why am I bringing this up again? Well, it's because of the big announcement we got just yesterday. Wow, did someone say boom? It looks like everything is falling into place for Ripple, ROUSD, and XRP. Let's take another look at Ripple's big announcement from July 2nd because things are starting to align perfectly. Here's the scoop. Ripple has chosen BNY Global as the primary reserves custodian for ROUSD, an enterprise-grade Bitcoin designed for real-world use. And here's the kicker. It's backed by one of the most trusted financial giants in the world. BNY is a huge name, even if you're not into finance or crypto. Chances are you've heard of BNY. I'll dive into this in just a second, but before we do, let's talk about something important. Back in July 2023, BNY Melon joined the FedNow service, marking a big step forward for the US payment system. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so they joined the FedNow service. What's the big deal? Well, take a look at this. Their leadership is being praised for setting the standard for progress and modernizing payment infrastructure. They're paving the way for others to get involved and support a more efficient, updated payment system in the US. BNY Melon has been on board with FedNow since the pilot program kicked off in January 2021. As one of the early adopters, they played a key role in testing and providing input to help shape the service. Plus, they completed a detailed client testing and certification process in the months leading up to the launch. We're all about driving the payments ecosystem forward with smarter solutions and services that help our clients run their businesses more efficiently. That's why becoming a FedNow service adopter is such an exciting step for us. It means we're opening up access to the financial industry and giving our clients even more opportunities to expand their instant payment capabilities. Throughout 2023, financial institutions and service providers will continue to join the platform, which is already shaping up to be a game changer. What makes this especially exciting? BNY has been one of the early adopters championing the modernization of the financial system for years. This is just another way we're delivering on that commitment. This is such an exciting development, especially with Ripple now applying for a Fed master account and a national bank charter license. If approved, this would let RLUSD reserves be held directly with the Fed. We already know Ripple has strong ties with FedNow. We've talked about this before. Even Volante, which played a major role in FedNow, is connected to Ripple through its API plug-and-play tech that also involves XRP. What's even crazier is seeing all these connections coming together. Ripple, the Fed, and now BNY. And this is happening the same week. Ripple is applying for both the national bank charter license and the Fed master account. On top of that, BNY is stepping up as the primary reserves custodian for RLUSD. BNY Melon is a big player in the financial world and works closely with the Federal Reserve System. While it's not part of the Fed, BNY Melon supports it in a number of ways, especially with payments, securities, and services like the FedNow clearing system, as well as managing stablecoin reserves. Oh, and here's a fun fact. BNY Melon oversees a staggering $53.1 trillion in assets. They handle, move, and protect that wealth for their clients every single day. At the heart of finance, BNY Melon has been partnering with clients since day one, using their expertise and innovative platforms to help people and businesses achieve their biggest goals. Ripple is making big moves. Did you know we're now helping over 90% of Fortune 100 companies and nearly all of the top 100 banks worldwide get access to the funds they need? That's huge. And now Ripple has teamed up with BNY Melon. Yes, the Bank of New York Mellon for custody of Ripple USD reserves. This is a massive milestone. There's also some buzz going around about whether BNY might be tied to one of the 1,700 NDAs mentioned in Ripple's court documents. While we can't confirm that, it's exciting to think about the possibilities. What we do know is that Ripple, a leader in digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions, has chosen BNY Mellon for primary custody of its USD reserves. Ripple and BNY are teaming up to drive digital asset adoption on a big scale, bringing traditional finance and crypto closer together. RLUSD is now one of the few global stablecoins issued under the New York Department of Financial Services Trust Company Charter, which is a pretty big deal. But unlike stablecoins designed for everyday users, RLUSD is built specifically for businesses. It's all about making cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and more efficient, helping enterprises get things done better and smarter. With its expertise in supporting the digital asset ecosystem and a proven track record in stablecoin infrastructure in the US, BNY is stepping in as the primary reserve custodian for RLUSD. Ripple will also tap into BNY's top-notch transaction banking services to keep operations running smoothly and deliver effortless solutions for customers. RLUSD is filling an important gap in the market as a stablecoin designed for enterprise-level financial use cases, built to meet the high standards of leading financial institutions. Ripple USD is a game changer, says Jack McDonald, Ripple's SVP of stablecoins. At BNY, we combine our proven expertise in custody services with a forward-thinking approach to financial innovation and digital asset infrastructure. That's why we're excited to partner with Ripple and support RLUSD. As the primary custodian for RLUSD, we're proud to help drive the growth of digital assets with a platform built to meet the evolving needs of institutions in this space. As a leading financial platform, we're dedicated to delivering secure, innovative, and seamless solutions that enable financial ecosystems around the globe. Working alongside Ripple, we're thrilled to play a key role in shaping the future of finance and advancing digital asset adoption on an institutional scale. Ready to dive into crypto with some much needed regulatory clarity? It's about time the US introduced solid crypto market structure laws to protect consumers, define clear rules, and let financial innovation flourish. Exciting news ahead. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse just announced a big partnership with BNY and shared updates on the future of the RLUSD stablecoin. Check it out on CNBC. Brought to you by Bank XRP.
Ripple announcing just moments ago that it's partnering with BNY for BNY to be its primary custodian for its stablecoin. Joining us first on CNBC, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Wow, that's a nice shot, Brad. It suits you well. You're looking very, even presidential almost. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to be back on Squawk Box.
You need a custodian for your stablecoin. Why BNY?
Well, look, I think as the crypto industry has emerged from kind of the last administration where the industry was being attacked, working with the most trusted, the most well-regulated and even the best capitalized partners is a way to continue to build trust in this system. And stablecoins at their core, by their nature, it's a dollar backed with a dollar in deposits. BNY Mellon has, for a very long time been amongst the most trusted partners out there for as a custody bank. So we're really pleased. We think it's indicative of the shift of tide where we've had headwinds for this industry are now becoming tailwinds. And I think we're going to see a lot of growth.
I mean, all the way back to that duel, I think, right? Is that Bank of New York? I think, yeah, Alexander Hamilton. It goes back a ways, doesn't it?
That one goes way back. I didn't put a number out there because I wasn't sure how many years it's been. But the BNY Mellon, we feel very lucky to be partnered with them. And we think, again, building trust for the whole industry and having RLUSD, our stablecoin, which just passed $500 million of market cap. We launched only about 6 months ago, so we're really pleased with that trend line and feel like this will only continue to build that trust.
It's small compared to some of your competitors, though, at this point. How does that factor into how you approach the whole stablecoin industry?
So the stablecoin industry is about $250 billion today. Many people think it'll be between 1 and 2 trillion in a handful of years. The growth behind it has been profound. We joined the market kind of late, partly because we were using stablecoins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. As you probably know, Ripple at its core has been a payments company and solving a cross-border payments problem. We use stablecoins, we use XRP where it makes sense. And stablecoins, when we were using that, we were a big part of activity for us. We were minting a lot, and we thought we can participate in this market. Given our institutional background, given the fact we've leaned into compliance and been very regulated, we have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
This doesn't. You still want a banking license, right? Even though you have this deal with BNY.
Well, yes is the short answer. We have pursued and requested application to apply for an OCC license as well as a Fed master account. We think that the key here for crypto and the kind of decentralized finance, as many people call it, Ripple has been building bridges between traditional finance and decentralized finance. The world isn't going to be taken over by crypto. Instead, we think about how do we take the best of what crypto brings in facilitating faster, cheaper transactions and bring it to traditional finance. That's been at the heart of what Ripple has been focused on from the beginning. This is a step towards that, and certainly getting an OCC license. For those that have said that the crypto world wants to be unregulated, whatever, the opposite is true. You know, I'm here in Washington in part, as you referenced, there's a Senate Banking Committee hearing today. We are advocating as an industry to be regulated. And those that, like Ripple, who have stepped forward and said we want to get an OCC license, in addition to the licenses we have with the New York Department of Financial Services, it only continues to augment that very robust, very compliance-first, trusted partner so that we can continue to use these technologies to benefit consumers and businesses alike.
Ripple is really stepping up its game right now, adding so much to its arsenal. This is a big deal for them. It really highlights just how deep their connections run with the traditional financial system. If I had to pick one name in this space that I'd back wholeheartedly, whether by investing in the asset or supporting the company, it would definitely be Ripple. XRP, I genuinely believe they're going to play a key role in shaping the future of the financial system. This isn't just a recent opinion either. We've been digging into Ripple and XRP for over 4 years now. And even before YouTube, I was researching and keeping an eye on them for years. When you look at everything happening with these connections we've been tracking, it all feels like it's leading to one big moment. At this point, I can't see how Ripple, XRP, and ROUSD don't end up playing a key role in this new financial system we're moving toward. And get this, ROUSD just hit over 500 million in market cap today. Now I know RWA CMAP is showing it a bit lower at 472.6 million, but if you check coin market cap, it's sitting at 501.24 million. The same day we hear the big news about BNY Melon, the monthly transfer volume is nearing 3 billion and holders are up by 2.77% at ROUSD. Market cap is absolutely skyrocketing. It's becoming a hugely popular stablecoin. We're steadily climbing the ranks. Honestly, I really think we're on track to become a top 10 player by the end of the summer. Getting into the top 5 will definitely take some serious effort, but Ripple is on an amazing path to hit that goal by the end of the year, just like they predicted. I love seeing all of this come together. It's incredible. And as I've mentioned before, this feels like a very strategic move. I truly believe this connects back to the Fed. For instance, they're applying for that master account and aiming to hold RUSD reserves directly with the Fed. Ripple already has RUSD reserves held with BNY, which is closely connected to the Fed. They've been collaborating with the Fed for years and even became an early adopter of the Fed Now service back in January 2021. It's clear this is a smart strategic move on Ripple's part. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more free content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.